It's your boy, and today we're going to be talking about how to basically score in this game at the highest level, but mainly showing you a little bit of theory with the dribbling so that way you can kind of make your own moves, because I don't want you to basically like play things on repeat, because if you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to go against a defender who knows how to punish your tendencies, and if you can't change them mid-game or adapt, or if you're not playing it in a way to where it's actually you like reacting to how your defender is trying to guard you, then you're never going to be able to be a good dribbler. So or a good shot creator as a PG, because as a PG you have to be able to create your own shot. You have to be able to get open, especially if you're playing behind a screen and you don't know how to create your shot with that, then you're going to be really in trouble. It is a little bit easier if you get a great screen, but if you're in ISO ball, you have to be able to shot create as well. So this video is going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's get straight into this animation stuff. So I would recommend to use Pro, even if you have access to some of the other ones. The only ones you want to use is Pro or Kyrie Irving. We'll talk about Kyrie Irving in a bit, but I would say go ahead and use Pro. I think Pro is honestly one of the best ones. I'll talk about why in a bit. Anyways, signature size up is Steve Francis. Steve Francis is really good. He's the best thing to use in the game, but if you don't have a 95 blinder, which is really high, then another signature side up you can use that's really good if you're a small guard is Trae Young. He's the second best one, and if you don't have access to any of those, then Dwayne Wade is really good. I would not use anything else other than those. Anyways, break down Isaiah Thomas. That's the best one to use if you're a small guard. If not, then you want to use De'Aaron Fox as a reset. This for aggressive breakdowns, you have to use John Morant. There is nothing else to use. You have to use John Morant. Escape moves, you have to use Trae Young if you have a 92, but if you don't have the 92 ball handling, you have the 86, then definitely go with Kemba Walker. It's the second best. We'll talk about why Trae Young is heads better than Kemba Walker's in a bit. Couple moves, you have to use James Harden, nothing else. We'll talk about that. Crossover, Kobe Bryant. If you don't have Kobe Bryant, you can go with John Wall. If you don't have John Wall, you can go with J. Cole. J. Cole's pretty decent. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go with Pro. Pro is a better one. Yeah. Behind the back, you have to use Jamal Murray. Don't use Tyrese Halliburton. Use Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is the best. It creates so much separation. You really have to use that. You can cook people off that move alone. For spins, Pro and LaMelo. Hesitation, you have to, and when I say have to, you have to use John Morant. Tyrese Halliburton is alright-ish, but I'll show you a little bit that you can do with him too. So I'll put him on for right now. I'll show you. His is okay, but you have to use John Morant. I'm just showing that you can use Tyrese Halliburton in a unique way. But yeah, anyways, step back. You have to use John Wall, and that's pretty much that. So we'll go ahead and talk about the Kyrie Irving one, because we're not gonna do the video with that. And then we'll just hop into this here. All right, cool. Give me a ball, someone. All right, cool. We're gonna go on this side. So Kyrie Irving basically does this. If you flick right on your right stick, if the ball's in your left hand, if you go to your opposite ball hand, right, and then you move that way with your RT in your left stick, you're gonna get that animation, right? Now, if the ball is already in the hand and you drive just simply that same way, you're gonna get that same animation, right? Now, so if I just try to sprint to the right here, so I'm holding RT and then my left stick is going to go upwards to the right now, right? It's going to give me that Kyrie Irving speed boost. This is really good, because that means you can do this. Hold on. It's not doing it. Hold on, give me a second. Sometimes it just needs to be reset. And you can just speed boost like this. And if you feel like you're not getting the animation, try to go a little bit more upwards to that side instead of like straight across. See, if you go straight across, you're going to get sometimes that animation, but if you just go upwards to the right, you'll always be able to get that speed boost. So try to go a little bit more up if you're not getting it, and we'll talk more about stuff like that. So that's the reason why Kyrie Irving's decent, right? But the one thing Kyrie Irving doesn't have, hold on, I don't have time for all this. One reason why Kyrie Irving is not good, or a weakness to it, you can like make up for it, but you can't go across very well. Like as you can see, this animation is very slow, right? It's not great. Can't really spam it. It's not that great. As you can see, you can't go across very well, and so that makes it a little bit weaker in that regard. So that's that. And as far as the Tyrese Halliburton, This move is good at like creating a lot of quick side separation because you can kind of do like that, but that would be the only thing that would make it somewhat useful. But seriously, I would say don't use those. Now Kyrie Irving is very, very good, but you have to do a move in order to go that way if you are kind of like somewhat a beginner to this game. So I feel like Kyrie Irving is definitely good, but I think that Pro is better, and I'm gonna show you why. So we'll put on Pro now, and then we'll go ahead and put on Ja Morant, and then we'll go ahead and actually just go ahead and get into this actual video here. So why are you getting locked up whenever you're trying to dribble? Why are you not getting open when you're trying to dribble? Right? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. If you cannot get open, then it's a problem with the way that you're dribbling. So let's break down dribbling down to like what's possible, so that way you can learn like what to do. So whenever you dribble, I want you to look at Kyrie Irving. He is someone who basically practice as if he always had a defender in his face, and that's the reason why he's the best dribbler in the world, easily. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Whenever you're doing these dribble moves, I want you to pretend that there's a person in front of you, where you have to, make sure you're keeping your space, make sure you're not accidentally driving and getting in body contact, especially if you're going against a 90 strength lock. You really don't want to be touching them. You don't want to be dribbling in their face, especially if you know how right stick ripper works. You need to be able to guard the ball from that. So, and also you need to know what's like stillable, and so how to like basically take away that still opportunity, but also make them pay for it very, very hefty. And that comes with knowledge, but it also comes with knowing what you can do, or how to like animation cancel. So we're going to talk about all of this stuff. So I want you to think of everything as your first move or your first step, or like speed booster basically. Then I want you to think of your counter move to that first move or your first step. Then I want you to think of a double counter move, right, which is basically if you countered and then you double counter it again, so it's basically like a triple move in a way. And then I want you to think of misdirection moves, and then I want you to think of resets, and then I also want you to think of momentum, like changes in your momentum. Those are the topics that we are going to go over whenever we're going to be talking about how to basically create your shot. And that's the reason why a lot of guys like are not able to score in the ISO ball and they can't play, is because they don't know how to change like their momentum. They don't know how to do counters. They don't know how to do misdirection. They don't know how to reset. They don't know how to have a double counter. They don't know how to just go with their first move. They have to do a bunch of dribble spam, right? So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is size up. Right now I have the Steve Francis equipped, so if I just flick my right stick to the opposite ball hand a little bit more upwards than just straight across, it's going to give me this animation, right? Now if I go and try and spam this, notice how I get a bunch of like size up like animations. These animations are trash. You don't want to use this stuff. This is not really good. You want to just press it once and then kind of let the animation play out, and then go into another move that will be an escape move or something like that. And I'm going to show you why. So this animation is good, right? So that's my cross, this is my between the leg, and this is my behind the back. As you can see, you can kind of spam the behind the back, right? You can do this depending on what the animation is for the signature size up, but for the most part you don't really have to do any of this. Same thing but for the between the leg, you ain't got to spam that, right? That's not really going to like help you out. That's very stillable. People can just glove you out of that. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to do your first move, right, and then drive off of it. So now I'm using Pro, so as you can see my drive is not as fast as the Kyrie Irving, right? But it's also not not slow. Like it's it's a pretty decent one. But what you can do after you do a move is you can press RT and then press your right stick to the same side that you just switched the ball over to, and then speed boost out of it like that, right? And that's the Ja Morant speed boost. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing RT, I'm flicking my right stick, since it's in my right hand, to the right. This is the Ja Morant escape, Hezi escape. So I'm pressing RT, flicking my right stick to the right, right? At the beginning of me pressing that, I can hold my left stick upwards to the right and then get that speed boost, right? This is the fastest speed boost in the game. This is going to be faster than anything else, and the good thing is I'm using Pro, right? And this is just as fast as Kyrie Irving, if not faster, right? Mess it up. Right, this is just as fast as Kyrie Irving, if not faster. And this animation is universal to anyone who can like basically, how can I say it? This animation is universal. Like anyone can use this animation if you have the animations equipped. Like this is not like locked behind. Bro, my mic is tripping, dude. It's not locked behind anything. You can pretty much go crazy with this. And the good thing is it's triggered off of an escape move, which means anytime you do any sort of escape, you can kind of like get out of, except a few exceptions, and we'll talk about how to fix those issues. So if you did a cross, right, and you wanted to go into that speed boost, you can do that. Hold on one second. It's not doing it. Give me a sec. There we go. So you can basically link those two. Now this is not something that's fast. You would want to go do a different kind of thing, but I'm just saying that you can do that. Let's say if you're using a slower character and you wanted to use like some sort of delay, you can speed boost out of with that animation there from your cross or whatever you're using from your regular size up. So this is not exactly what I would call great or optimal, but you do need to know how to do stuff like this, right? Because it'll determine if your size up is actually effective, and if you can go with your first move, or if people are biting on your second move, or if they're trying to steal on your second move or something like that, then you just need to get out of there. Now there's a better way to do it, but you need to do it off of this. So now since we're talking about just the regular size up, we need to talk about left stick cancels. As you can see, I cannot spam that like very fast. Now if I wait a little bit, I can, you know, kind of do like this, but this is kind of like, you know, it's kind of whatever, right? You can get some errors, but if you basically do a right stick cross, right, and you press your left stick like this, literally in the same side, notice how you get this little jagged little thing, and I'm just flicking my left stick to that same side, right? You get this little like dead step. So notice how if I do it, see how it just immediately stops that animation. This allows for you to spam these moves a lot faster, right? Now it is one of those things where it's like you have to kind of get used to it. Once you do, you can pretty much like spam any sort of move that is really good like that, right? I messed it up. Hold on, I messed it up again. See what I'm saying? So like the better that you get with these left stick cancels to cancel the animation, you just practice it like this, and the better you get with it, you can become very good at spamming that. And that can in itself be, you know, a way to, you know, get yourself open, because then they don't know if you're gonna like bite on the move, or if you're gonna let it fly, or you're gonna whatever. And this can make the Kyrie Irving good alone, because you're always gonna be able to speed boost out of these. And this is the reason why people like Steve Francis with Kyrie Irving. Now I would always go to the same side that you just did. For some reason it's just faster, because sometimes if you go to the other side you'll get a different animation, or if you go up for the left stick cancel, sometimes you can get like a few different animations, and then you can kind of get yourself in trouble with that. But the better that you get, the better that you're going to be able to kind of like spam that. Now I don't really spam this. As you can see, I'm getting a little muscle memory break here, and it's because I don't find this, again, that optimal, but I do want to make sure that you guys know that you can do this. So this is me just pressing my left stick, flicking my right stick over, upwards to the right or upwards to the left, depending on where the ball's at, and then you can flick your left stick to the same side like that after, and you basically end the animation, right? Now this is good, again, if you have a very good cross that just like creates a lot of separation, or it makes people think they bite or something like that. So that's what that's for. You can do this with any direction too, even if you want to do it from the behind the back. Now these automatically like combo into each other, so it will be faster for me to do it like that, so it's not that important there. But if you wanted to spam the between the leg or something like that, you can do it like that. There we go. And that's basically me doing a bunch of left stick cancels there. So this is one thing that you can do to like kind of saw someone up if you feel like they're a weaker defender, but I wouldn't recommend doing this because, again, you're very stealable by doing this stuff. Anyways, moving forward, so that's pretty much everything that you need to know with your right stick. Your size ups are pretty much only going to be using this format at the highest level. You really just want to use the first move and then like left stick cancel or whatever, unless you have some sort of animation that like backs you up or it moves you forward to that way you can get some sort of crab or some sort of like reset out of it. Other than that, you really don't want to spam that stuff. You want to do your first move, left stick cancel it into another move if it's like very fast, or pretty much speed boost out of it. And that's pretty much it. Now let's start talking about speed boost. So as we mentioned, we talked about the whole Ja Morant speed boost from the hesitation there. You can pretty much get that with almost any like like escaping the game. I'm gonna show, there's a reason why we're using Ja Morant specifically though. So you can also get that exact same animation from doing an escape cross. This is the Trae Young animation that we have for the escape moves. So I'm holding RT and I'm pressing upwards to the opposite ball hand. So upwards to the right is going to be for this next one here. I messed it up. This is the animation, and notice how you get a lot of separation. I just went from here to here. With Kemba Walker, it's going to keep you somewhat more stationary, and we don't want the stationary one, because the stationary one means you don't get to like make people bite off of it. They don't have to like adjust themselves at all, right? So this is the reason why Trae Young is better than Kemba Walker's. Kemba Walker doesn't move you, it keeps you somewhat stationary, and Trae Young's moves you a little bit, and I'm gonna show you why that's important in a bit. So that's the cross, right? Once you get used to inputting in this, if you master the time in here, you can actually press your left stick at the correct time and you'll get the same, again, speed boost. Now if you do it too early, you'll get this momentum cross that is very trash. We don't even use this anymore. And as you can see, you can spam that, but that's not really good. You don't really like, that animation doesn't really do anything for you, right? It's just too slow. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just too slow. It used to be the old speed boost, but it's honestly a trash animation. You don't want to do that. You want to like play the animation out and then speed boost out of it, like so. Now if you do it too late, you're going to get this. Hold on. That you're going to get the regular one. Now if again you're using Kyrie Irving, it kind of like basically like it doesn't matter if you time it wrong, because you're still going to get the one that you're looking for. But if you time it like super late like that, you can kind of delay whenever you speed boost out of this as well. So this is like that's one that you don't want right there. I'm trying to show you that third time, and that's another one there. Again, as you can see, you can kind of like control like when you speed boost out of that. Hold on, give me a second. That's the first timing. Hold on. That's the second time. As you can see, you can choose like when you delay that, but for the most part, you just kind of want to do it on the first timing. If not, then you're gonna kind of be like somewhat. How can I say it? I don't know. I don't really know how to like say that. You just want to do it on the first time, and for the most part. Anyways, moving forward. So that's from the hesitation cross. So once you get used to doing that, you don't want to get this animation. This animation is when you're doing it way too fast, right? This animation is when you're doing it too slow, right? When you get it just right, it'll be like that. All right. So that is the speed boost out of that move. You can also do it from the between the leg. As you can see, go ahead and do another one here. Hold on, my left stick is kind of like a little buggy. Anyways, there we go. So this is the between the legs one. This one I feel like honestly is the easiest one to kind of speed boost out of. Honestly, if you're trying to get this animation the easiest, that will be the easiest one to do it off of. But yeah, you can speed boost out of this animation as well. And depending on how you hold your left stick, if you go more upwards to the right, you're gonna get that one. If you go more like to the straight aside or somewhat even back, you'll get this one here. So like you can actually control if you get this one here, or if you get this one here, right? So having knowledge of which one you want will also help you to, let's say if you feel like someone's gonna like bite more towards you driving like this, you can go ahead and do this already and then get a 3 from it instead. So that's just already a way to kind of again add a counter move, or forcing them to be somewhat more honest on defense. We'll talk about all of that in a bit, but I just want to show you that you can control like what kind of speed boost animation that you basically get, right? So that's off of that one. So again, you can speed boost off of the between the leg, you can speed boost off of the cross, you can speed boost off the hesitation, and also again if you do the cross one really fast, you'll get this animation here. This is like a really quick I hate this because like this is all because my left stick has somewhat of a little stick drift in it. But anyways, you can get like this animation here. Yeah, dude, that's so annoying, bro. That animation there, that's the between the leg one. If you do it too fast, you'll get that animation. So it's very kind of mid, honestly. So yeah, that's that. And then you have also for your escape moves, instead of it just being your basically your right stick going to the same ball hand and speed boosting, and then you have your right stick going to the opposite ball hand. Hold on, wrong thing, and speed boosting, right? And then you have it going to the cross version, and that's speed boosting, right? But now you also have your holding your RT while you're doing all of those, right? And then you're holding up, well, you're tapping up, and this gives you that Ja Morant aggressive breakdown that we talked about. Now from all of these moves, so I'm holding RT and I'm flicking up, right? from this move here, this one, you can do a lot of different moves out of that, or you can just simply again drive out, and this is the pro speed boost. Now if you go across, you'll get that move, right? But if you go like basically a little bit more upwards and across with just your left stick, you'll get this move. So let me explain that a little bit better so that way you guys can understand. This is the reason why I say pro is the best thing to use in this game, just because you kind of need to be able to immediately go across in some of these dribble moves, and also to protect the ball. Kyrie Irving is a little bit more readable if it wasn't for the amount of speed that it gives you. So again, I'm going to basically hold RT and I'm going to flick up. This is going to give me the Ja Morant, right? From that animation, I'm going to use my left stick and I'm going to bring it upwards to the left after I flick up here, right? And it'll give me this animation, right? Now if I were to basically go straight across, so instead of going upwards to the left and just go straight left, this is what I'll get, this slow animation, right? If I go back, down back, I'll get this animation. So which one do you think is the better one? Upwards to the left, right? So anytime you're doing this move and you're using pro, you have to go upwards to the left, and then you can just angle it back with your left stick after. So it's very important to know like that. And it's the same way for this RT and then right stick down. This is the John Wall basically escape step back, right? Upwards to the left, you can always get it. If you go across, you're going to get that one. If you go backward, you're going to get that one, right? As you can see, you have to know how to do this. If you don't do this, you're going to be kind of in the trenches, right? So that's that. All right, so that's called left stick pro driving. You can also do this from neutral. I want you guys to basically understand that if you hold your RT button from neutral and you move your left stick down back now, so not upwards to the right, you don't want to do the upwards to the right, you're always going to get the ones you don't want. You want to go hold RT and your left stick down back. You're always going to get this, right? And it's going to actually move you back, and you can do it fast, you can let it sit, you know what I'm saying? And you can actually just practice doing this as much as you want, so that way you can master that, so that way you can again basically use this to make people bite, that kind of thing, right? So that way you can create a shot. I would highly recommend you just sit there and get used to that motion, so that way you know exactly when to do it and how to do it. So that is left stick pro driving. So let's basically go over escape moves one more time. So remember how we talked about how you can speed boost off of escape moves, right? This would basically be, again, like we talked about at the beginning, your first step. This is your first move, because oh no, I messed it up. I did it too fast there. If they don't respect this, this is a shot, right? So they have to move over, right? And you don't have to do the first one always. You can actually like sit on it a little bit and then drive, which means they have to respect this. And because they do, that makes that an actual deadly shot. Now, that's your first move. If they respect that move, you can also double counter that, right? By doing, again, the behind the back. So this is the Jamal Murray behind the back that I told you guys about. This is holding your RT button and doing down back, right? So let's go over all the escape moves. For all the escape moves you have your RT being held for all of these. So you have RT up, that's your Ja Morant. You have your RT to the same ball hand, which would be the Ja Morant hezzy. You have your RT going across, so basically up between the leg, right? And that will be the Trae Young escape moves. Then you have the RT cross, which will be the Trae Young cross, this one, right? And then you have one that's a little bit more weird. It's like a little bit more upward, that one there. I wish they took these out, because you don't ever want these, right? But they'll happen every once in a while. So there's your first, again, your directly up one, right? That's your Ja Morant. There's your like slightly more upwards to the right ones, right? That's these. And then there's the ones that it's more to the left, but not all the way left. So it's like upwards left, like this, right? And then you have your between the leg, which is straight across, right? And then you have your behind the back, which is down back, which will be your Jamal Murray. These are all the escape moves you have in the game, and from every last single one of these moves that I just named, you can speed boost out of. Some of them require a little bit more work than others, and we already talked about that, right? The between the leg, you can speed boost out of. The cross, you can speed boost out of. I messed that up, sorry. And from the behind the back, you can't speed boost out of this. As in like this animation, you can't, hold on. You can't get this animation out of that Jamal Murray behind the back, or it will be kind of broken. But there's a way to, you know, kind of still do it, but we'll talk about that in a second. You can't do it off of this animation either. As you can see, it gives you your regular speed boost, which is the reason why a lot of people use Kyrie Irving, because they're looking for that, right? But what you can do from this behind the back, as we talked about before, is the left stick pro driving, right? Same thing for your Ja Morant. Again, you can't speed boost out of it the way that you would want to, right? Get that animation, but again, you still can do the little cross drive, right? So this is all, you know, fine. This is all dandy. We're building a foundation here, right? Now, here's how escape moves work. Any escape move can immediately be canceled into another escape move. So if I do the Ja Morant hesitation and I link it into a Trey cross, that basically does that. Now, the thing that's cool about the Ja Morant is you can animation cancel this at 2 different times. You can do it immediately, right? Hold on, that was not the one I wanted. Right, you can do that immediately, or you can sit on it for a while and then do it after. This is good because this basically, we'll talk a little bit more about it in a second. These are called delays or sellers, meaning you're selling the move a little bit. You know how you put the ball way out to make them think you're going that way and then you bring it back? That's why we use Ja Morant. Ja Morant is your best friend because it allows for you to basically sell any move, and then this becomes a shot just from doing this off of a screen, right? So, and that's because any escape move can automatically link into each other. And same thing with Trae Young. Hold on one second. You can link a Trae Young into a behind the back immediately like that, right? Or you can sell it for a little while and then do it, right? So all of these escape moves kind of have this sort of property to them. Same thing with the between the legs. You can do it immediately, or you can like let it sit a little bit longer, even though that one doesn't really make people bite as much. But as you can see, you can do that as well. Same thing with all of your escape moves. So I'm going to do the Ja Morant up, basically aggressive breakdown, so RT up. And then I can link that into the Ja Morant escape, or I can do that and then lead into the behind the back. I can do that and then lead it into a cross, right? I can do that and then lead it into between the leg. All of these animation cancel each other. And again, you can kind of like sit on that however long you want, right? See what I'm saying? So as you can see here, these moves all escape into each other. So a very, very good one that's just an easy shot creating shot is just do the Ja Morant hesitation, like sit on it for a little while, and then do the Jamal Murray behind the back. That's going to catch a lot of people because, again, this move here, you can speed boost out of that, and that's a shot. So now you have an automatic first step move, and then now you automatically have a counter for it, right? And if you're trying to do a double counter, you can do like this, like that, and then like that, right? Now he got in my way, so I wasn't able to move as much that same weight there. But again, so let's say boom, boom, boom. Hold on, I messed it up. Boom, 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 and then you can drive that way or whatever, or you can just shoot that shot straight from that Trae Young, especially if you're playing behind the screen, right? And now you have a double counter, and then your first step. As simple as it may be, these are all options here for you, right? So that's basically how hesitation escapes work. Now, again, notice how you can't get that speed boost that you want out of this, right? Remember how we said escape moves cancel into each other, right? And we know we can get the escape move from doing the Ja Morant hesitation immediately, right? And canceling out of it. So that means now we can do this, right? So that's my Ja Morant RT up, and then I do RT to the same side, so the Ja Morant hezi, right? But I immediately go into the dribble. Hold on, I messed that up. Bro, this is my left stick tripping. And again, as you can see, you can get a speed boost out of this animation, right? Now you can speed boost out of that animation instead of getting the slower one, which is the weakness of the pro move, instead of the because the pro has the best cross launch from neutral, right? This means that now you can have a good cross launch, but you also can have the fastest speed boost that is at the exact same speed of Kyrie Irving. And the good thing about doing it from the Ja Morant is that it actually moves you back a little bit, right? So you can create a three-point shot from this move. So this is actually very, very good. This basically takes away the weakness of pro, right? And same thing with your John Wall escape, right? This move, again, you can't really speed boost this way very fast, but you can't go across very, very fast, but you can't do it the other way. But now, if you do it like this, hold on, I messed it up. Give me a sec. Now you can speed boost out of it, and what I'm doing is I'm simply doing this move, right? And then I'm doing the Ja Morant, and then I'm speed boost canceling it like that, right? Hold on, I messed it up. Give me a second. I'm doing that, right? So all that I'm doing is I'm holding RT, I'm flicking my right stick to the same ball hand, so it's in my left hand, so I'm gonna flick to the left, and then I'm gonna push my left stick upwards to the left. And then it'll give you that. Hold on, bruh. It'll give you that, right? So that's basically what I'm doing. After I do this, I'll do that, and it'll give me that speed boost. So you basically just pretty much negated any sort of slowness that you would feel. And especially if you're using a build that doesn't have like 86 ball handle or 85 ball handle. You'll say you're like me, who you have a 2BH as a 70 ball handle. I cook people with that build with a 70 ball handle because I use this. I'll do this into that, and then I'll speed boost out of it like that, right? So remember how the Jamal Murray, you can't speed boost out of it like how that really fast one, unless you're using Kyrie Irving. Well, if you're a taller guard, you can do it, and you can speed boost out of it now if you use this tech that I just showed you, right? And remember, you can control if you go more back or to where you create a 3-point shot, or if you're going more to the rim with it and you get this one, right? Like that. And that's all because, again, escape moves immediately cancel into each other. So now you can make this Jamal Murray become something that you speed boost out of. And this is good because remember how this would be a first move basically, right? I'll show you a counter. Remember how we talked about the left stick cancel? You can actually get 2 Jamal Murrays. So you will do the Jamal Murray, flick the left stick in that same direction, right? And then you can get another one. Hold on, I'll show it here. Give me a second. There we go. Now you got 2 of them in a row. And you can delay it a little bit like that, right? Like that, right? So all that I'm doing is I'm doing the Jamal Murray. So RT down back. So the ball's my left hand. I'm going to do RT down back to the right. I'm going to flick my left stick, and it'll cancel that animation. I can immediately go into another one, right? So bing, bing. If you start getting this, this will absolutely fry defenders who are actively trying to rip this move, right? This absolutely fries defenders. Like every single time it'll fry them. For some reason people love to like steal this move, and this move kills that. Or like if you know they're trying to like bait for the Jamal Murray behind the back, instead of doing Jamal Murray, do that and you get a free 3-pointer from that. So for example, let's say the ball's in your right hand and they expect you to do this immediately from, let's say you're playing off the screen, he got in my way. If they expect you to play off the screen, they expect you to do a Jamal Murray there. If you do this, that'll immediately counter their steal, and that's going to give you a 3-point shot every single time. They will not be able to recover because it moves you across just enough, but also it kind of punishes them. So do that and then immediately into a shot. That will always be a shot, and it will never be contested. So if you know people are trying to steal you because you always do your Jamal Murray first, if you have that tendency, add this into your arsenal, and I promise you, you're going to still be able to cook them, and you're going to force them to respect one of the options, right? So that's that, right? But again, another thing you can do is this. Hold on, I messed it up there. And that can really help you out because now you can do something like this, and then speed boost out of it, right? So now you're looking at causing a lot of damage, right? By just doing that, right? So yeah, that's basically that, right? That's the double Jamal Murray. Let's go ahead and move on a little bit. So now let's talk about LT cancels, right? Or left stick cancels. So we know this is a good move, right? This is one of the best moves in the game. There's only 2 ways to cancel this speed boost, right? And you need to know this. The first way to cancel is the exact same inputs that you would do in order to get the pro left stick behind back, right? It's going to be that exact same thing, except you're going to do it this way. And this is called the quick stop. I just call it the quick stop, whatever you want to call it. You do this move, and then like you can basically like immediately stop any animation. So I'll show it here in tangent. So like this. Oh no, I messed it up. Give me a sec. I did it again. That's insane. There you go. So anytime you're doing any sort of speed boost, you can immediately cancel that move. Hold on. Bro, I'm tired of all these people here, man. Like, let me just do it way back here. You can immediately cancel that move with that animation, right? And from that animation, you can actually go ahead and get multiple like extra dribble moves from it. For like, for example, let's see here. Let me get out here. You can do like this. Yo, bro, why does that keep happening, bro? Like, Jesus Christ. Hold on. There we go. Bing, bing. You can go immediately into another behind the back from that if you feel like someone's going to try to like rip you right there, or if you're just trying to like sell the move a little bit and then do like that. So these are all like space creating shots, should I say, right? You see what I'm saying? So this is, in order to get that move, you just have to be moving in some sort of angle that's not completely like away from the basket like that. So it's an angle thing. If you're moving somewhat laterally, you can always get this animation, and you can actually spam this, by the way. So like, this is me spamming it. So I promise you guys, it's very easy. If you can do this, then you can do the move, right? So basically all that I'm doing in order to get this is I'm moving somewhat laterally, left stick back, well, down back, basically like as if you're doing the same angle as a Jamal Murray behind the back. So you're driving this way, left stick, down back, And again, once you get it, you can pretty much like, you can spam it, right? And from any of these moves, you can do an escape move out of it, right? So this is very important because it's the one of the fastest ways to stop one of those speed boosts and go straight into a strap from it, right? So you can immediately stop that animation here, right? And then go immediately into a strap, right? So again, that makes that a better quick stop, right? So you have to have that in your arsenal. But another way to stop those speed boosts is to do an LT cancel. Now I'm gonna show you how to do the LT cancels in the easiest way possible. So whenever you are basically doing this move, right, and you're speed boosting out of it the fast way, but I'm just doing it for the sake of like showing, right? So let's say you did it and you're speed boosting this way. You can choose to sit on it, or you can choose to do it immediately. A lot of people only know how to do it like preemptively, right, like that, or like they'll do it like this and then they'll do it like that. They can only do it at that time, and you need to be able to also do it at this time. And hold on, I messed it up actually. I say that and then I did it myself. That time you need to be able to like adjust whenever you actually like LT cancel this, because if you can't, then you're never going to be able to be like able to delay or sell this move, and you need to be able to sell this move. Now how do you make it to where you can sit on moves for a little bit longer and still get an LT cancel? So here's the trick. I want you to press your LT button and whichever type of right stick move you're trying to do at the exact same time. So let's say you do this and you're trying to cross back to the other side, right? So you do it and you're trying to do those moves at the exact same time. So you hold your LT and your right stick at whatever angle, or you're flicking them both for however long you have to hold your right stick in order to get it behind the back. For however long you have to do that, it's the exact same timing for the the LT button or your L2, whatever you want to call it. So let's say I'm trying to do the cross. You do them both at the exact same time, right? So boom, boom, boom. Hold on, I did it too fast there. I did it too fast there again. Boom, I did it too fast there again. Boom. I messed that up there. That was actually a mess up there. Boom, 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 boom. So it's just simply, again, so you're holding RT, right? You flick your right stick, you basically do the regular escape, right? You speed boost out of it. The moment you're ready to do it, just imagine if I'm still moving in that direction. The moment that you're ready to cross to the other side, you're gonna keep holding RT and you're gonna hold your LT button, well, at the exact same time that you would input this move again, right? So pretty much think of it, the exact same time that you're gonna flick your right stick, right, while you're holding RT, you just basically, instead of just flicking your right stick, you hold your LT while you're flicking it. So boom, boom, right? You get what I'm saying? So boom, I messed it up there. That was actually a bad one. Boom, right? But remember that it's all about angles. You have to be somewhat laterally, right? Boom. It's that simple. Boom, right? So these are all LT cancels or L2 cancels, whatever you want to call them. You have to have this in your arsenal at the highest level because it's the only way to punish people who are respecting everything, and it's how you really sell a move. So for example, let's say you're immediately driving here, right? Boom, you need to be able to do that, right? That's an L2 cancel. Or let's say you drive immediately, boom. I messed it up. Hold on. So you're driving, boom, you need to immediately be able to do that because again, this creates a strap, right? It's an immediate, like, you can think of it like it's a snatchback or something like that, right? And again, the way to do L2 cancels or whatever LT cancels, whatever console you're on, is just simply the moment that you're ready to do whatever escape move that you're wanting to do, you press LT at the exact same time that you're going to be flicking your right stick for the same amount of duration that it takes for you to do the animation, right? And that's pretty much how you do that. So yeah, that's that. So that's LT cancels. That's pretty much that. Now let's start talking about like combo moves, or like the James Harden basically. If the ball's in your right hand, you would flick left right really fast, and it's going to give you this move. This move can be comboed at any point in time from anything, except like you see what I'm saying, except for that. Like, so from this move, this James Harden, you can go left stick straight across. Hold on, I'll show you that one more time while holding RT, and you'll get again that pro cross that we were talking about, right? Or you can just simply do a between the leg, escape, or you can do that momentum, or you can go ahead and do the Trae Young cross and go this way, right? or you can just do the John Morant hezzy, and you go straight back to the 3-point line. So let's say you playing at the top of key and you do it, you can go straight back to the 3-point line if they feel like they're respecting that drive. Now, what's so beautiful about this James Harden move? You can immediately animation cancel by flicking up, and you can go into that. Or if you don't want that little stutter step there, you can actually go ahead and do the Trae Young cross from it too, and then immediately go into your shot as well, right? So it's very good for doing crabs. If you don't know what a crab is, it's basically whenever you try to sneak your person in front of the defender if they're playing you too high up, so that way you can get a mid-range shot or a 3-point shot if you're playing very, very high up, right? So this is very good at doing that because you can kind of let this animation sit, right? Now there's another move that I haven't talked about, but this is like your main resetter, right? You flick just straight down with the right stick if you have the animations that have equipped, and this is your John Wall step back, not your escape step back, your regular one. You can do it from this move very, very fast, right? So that's the first time, and then you can sit on it for a little while, and then you can do it, right? So I'll do it here. Again, you can sit on it and then do it, or you can do it immediately like so, right? And these are very good at kind of, again, doing that little Russell Westbrook sort of thing of 2K23. It's literally that exact same thing, and what's so good about it is you don't have to, like, you know, that's me if I do it wrong. Remember, you want to go kind of upwards to that side, and then you can bring it back. So that's the reason why it's so good, is because you can speed boost out of it, or you can actually just go this way as well. Again, you can always use that what you call it, the John Morant hezzy, right, to speed boost out of it the same way. So again, you have full options that you need from this, and you can also just, again, kind of reset it like this if you wanted to, if you want to be more across. If you feel like someone's going to try to like pinch you for doing the John Wall, you can always do it like that too. So yeah, and you can also do like that, because from this John Morant you can also like basically pro left stick out of it, but you can also wait for that second time and then still pro out of it. So again, this whole time during this animation, all of this is just like, again, you can do it like that. You can speed boost at the last second, you can do it immediately like that, right? These are all like very, very good options here. Or you can immediately do it like this, right, which is bing bing. I messed it up, hold on. Bing bing, right? Or you can sit for it for a little while and then go like that. So all of these moves are like very good at sort of like selling people. Same thing here, you can sit on it for a little while and you can go, or you can immediately do like that and then immediately get it. And remember, all of these are options. Like, these are all like ways to bait people, sell it a move or whatever. Now, one thing also that I want you to know is that from this James Harden move, you can pretty much kind of like go into anything, right? So you can even go into this little move here, right, which is, again, your favorite friend, because you can go like that now, right? So you have the little left stick quick stop as well. So from the James Harden, you can basically just do it and then like that's it, right? You can even do like this and then do another one, right? So that's basically the James Harden combo move into Trae Young escape into another one. So bing 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 bing, and you can go into the Trae Young the John Morant hezzy as well, or you can do the escape into another one, but you can do that like a lot faster. I'm just showing it so that way you can kind of keep up there. Anyways, moving forward, now let's talk about like delays or sellers. This is the most important part of your kit. If you're still struggling to get open even after the knowledge of like doing this into that, maybe that or whatever, like if you're really, really struggling, I would say you need to add in more delays or sellers. So my favorite thing to do if I want to add a seller without having to do too much stick input, if I'm in a more like delayed game where there's more latency and your dribbling just doesn't feel that smooth that game, is to basically add in a John Morant. So let's say I just want to do a Trae Young escape into a behind the back. If that is not working, I'm gonna do a John Morant, and then I'm gonna do it, just so that way I can really like make them think that I'm going that way, right? So like bing 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 bing, you get what I'm saying? Just to kind of like sell it a little bit more, or like even do it like that, which is hold on, let me do it one more time. So ding ding bing, right? Just to kind of sell it just a little bit more, like I really like committed, and it gives the human brain time to be like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I actually see him driving, right? So they're waiting to see you driving, and that's just enough to fake it out. So like they're like, oh, he's driving, and then you bring it back, right? That's just enough to kind of get the human brain to like, oh, he's actually driving now, so I need to commit to it, right? And then you can start doing stuff like that, right? Again, sort of like making them bite on that, right? and then you like kind of take it away from him, right? Bite, bing, and then you speed boost, and now you have a shot, right? So that's the reason why a lot of people aren't able to get open, is because they don't delay enough or they don't sell. So for example, you can do this into another one, right? This will catch a lot of people, right? Especially if you really sit on that animation for a while. There is a time where you basically can't animation cancel anymore, so you can basically like do it really early and then sit on it, and then you can do it again. That'll catch a lot of people as well, just because again you're kind of like selling that move just a little bit, because remember, out of all of these moves you have this speed boost, right? So you can do like this, even like that, hold on, like this, and then at any that's not what I wanted, but at any point in time, remember, you can left LT cancel out of this too, right? So bing, 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 and then you can LT cancel out of that part, like that. Even that wasn't really a good LT cancel. It's because my left stick keeps doing that dumb little thing for some reason. So you're speed boosting, and then you would LT cancel out of that. See, that's my stick causing that to happen, but you guys get the idea. So you're dribbling, you would do an LT cancel from that, and then you'd be good. So yeah, you can also do it like that too. That would be an LT cancel. These are just ways to kind of, again, like make sure people are not like just like, well, let me wait till he does his first move and then that's pretty much it. This is why you have to, again, have like L2 cancels, or let's say you're going this way, you need to have basically either the L2 cancel in your arsenal, or you need to have this in your arsenal, because that is a very good like launching move, right? You need to have that, right? Bing, bing, just something to get them to like not immediately go with their first move. So again, if the L2 cancel is too hard for you, you can still be saved by again doing this. Hold on, that's not the move I was looking for. You get this move, right? And then you can go back that way. So this is a good way to, again, if you feel like someone's basically like you're trying to misdirect them after you commit, you can do like that and then keep going that way. But again, you can like be like this. Hold on, let me say them. Sorry. Bing, bing, and then keep speed boosting that way, and then get a shot that way. You feel like they're going to bite on that mover, they're going to stop on that little stop and go, whatever you want to call it. That's a good way to do that as well. So that's delays, that's sellers. You can also do this from like the Ja Morant is really good at just naturally delaying, right? So basically what I'm going to show you guys is, let's say you're trying to do a delay here. So you do this move, you want to make sure you go that way, you make him think you're going to go that way for a second, like that, and then you bring it back. You see how there was that little like step that I took? What I'm doing is I'm doing the move and I'm moving my left stick just for a second, right? And then I'm going the other way, right? So boom, 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 right? Even it's so minor, but I promise you guys, this is how you get people to like really think you're going that way. And as you can see, like you can kind of like sell the animation quite a bit, right? And depending on how long you're holding your left stick in that direction, you see that's me holding that too long, right? Depending on how long you hold that will determine how much you sell that move. It works with pretty much everything, right? So like bing, bing, you see what I'm saying? Bing. Oh, that was, I thought I was gonna get the job right there. So that, and then you waited too long, and then you sell it, right? Bing, bing, right? Bing, bing. You see what I'm saying? Just that little bit of a delay, that little bit of a sell makes it to where people bite on that move, and then you just actually start cooking people just from doing that straight into a shot, right? So that's pretty much that, right? There's only one other move for me to talk about, and it's going to be the crossover. So let's get into it. A lot of times if you're trying to slash and you're trying to get to the rim, you're going to need to be able to sort of create an angle and then use your speed to get by them. Especially if you're going to get 90 strength locks, you're really going to need to know how to do this, because you won't be able to just like go straight to people or crap your way to the basket. Like for the most part, like this would be the only way that I know of that you can like really like crab your way to the basket like that. Like, but even still, that could be very risky, because again, like the way how right stick ripper works, you really don't want to dribble in their face. You always kind of want to be moving somewhere away from them and forcing them to like have to move out in order to pluck steal you or bum steal you, which then opens up the free easy drives like that, right? But you can't really go through people. You have to like create an angle, and what I mean by that is you would have to do something like this and then do this move where you created an angle to where you have a line of sight to get to the basket without contact, and then from this contact, from this line of sight, I mean, you would basically then do like that crossover move, right? Now if you're going not laterally enough, you're going more like to the side, you're going to get this move, which isn't bad, right? So you really want to make sure you're going somewhat like more towards the basket than you are going away. Now with this move, you have two options. You can actually choose to go to the basket like so, right? And then you can bring it back like very easily, like so. You can do it. Hold on, that was a bad one. And then you can, like, instead of going to the rim, you can actually bring it back like that and get a mid-range from it, or you can get a three-pointer from it, so that's cool. But also you can also go away from the move, so like you can do it, and then like you see how I did it, and I didn't go to the basket, I went to the three-point line. So that way, again, if you're playing right here, you do the move. But I messed it up. That was, again, angle wise, it just wasn't enough to the rim. You can, bro, I did it again, give me a sec. You can do it and then go to the three-point line and still get a strap from that, right? So this is what I mean when I say like you have to have options, and it's all just controlling where you're going with your left stick. Same thing like with this here. You do the speed boost, you can choose if you go back, you can choose if you go more forward, right? You can choose if you go somewhat more back from it, so you get the same speed boost, and you can literally angle yourself backwards while you're doing the move with your left stick. It's the same way. So a lot of times you're gonna have to create an angle and then speed boost to the rim that way, right? Now this move is very stealable, and what I'm doing is I'm just doing a crossover. Basically the same angle that you would have to do in order to get a crossover, this trade cross, is the exact same motion here, but you're just moving with your stick. Now anytime you're getting a speed boost, again, like I said, you can do that move. You have to have some sort of momentum though, and you have to be somewhat angled to the basket. Now there's the between the leg one from the Kobe Bryant that's really good because it's immediate like separation, it's immediate misdirection, right? This move is beautiful because it can't be stolen like the other one can, like so easily. They don't even have to like steal it. It's just if they're there, it gets an automatic pluck, right? As you can see, this changes your direction immediately, right? This is beautiful at creating like mid-range shots. This is beautiful at just like, again, let's say you get the angle and you want to switch your side or something like that. You can really do that very well. And the reason why I like using this one a lot is because let's say I do it and I get the wrong one, you just do this quick stop, right? Which like will basically like make it to where, again, let's say you do it right, you don't get the one I was behind the back, hold on, sorry about that. Do it and you don't get the one you want, you'll get an animation where you just do a quick stop, right? Like, see what I'm saying? Like, it's just the same animation, so it's a little bit easier to kind of like play off of that, because then from this little quick stop here, right, you can speed boost out of it too. So again, it kind of works in your favor. And again, that's the same animation, and the reason why I like using this one a little bit more is because that animation can't just get bump stolen. See what I'm saying? And it just really does. Again, let's say if they have fast feet, you know, they're someone who is a very good defender, this move works very well because it just immediately switches your direction and you can go straight into a dunk from it, a precision dunker or whatever. And this is actually really good for a precision dunker because, again, precision dunker is all about a line of sight. You see how this one kind of like, it sort of throws the ball and you get a little bit too close. Somebody can kind of recover from that, right? If you do it this way, that's already like a line of sight because the angle is so hard to contest. Like, you can do that and immediately go into precision dunker from that, right? So do it, bing, that's a precision dunker, right? Just because it's creating a line of sight where you and the rim are now like faced up. So it's a very hard move to contest with precision dunker, which means they have to like basically sag off, and if they sag off from stuff like this, then that opens up this, right? Or that opens up this into that, into a strap. Again, the opportunities are endless. Your goal is basically to, like, again, create angles, right? You can even do like that if you wanted to, or into a step back, and now you have a shot, right? So your goal is basically to kind of get them to like start taking step backs because you're killing them at the rim with like stuff like this or whatever. That was not what I wanted to do, but you guys get the idea. And then from there you basically do something else, right? So that's pretty much the crossover move, and then the between the leg move. I'm not really going to talk about the behind the back or the other stuff. It's not really important. Last thing we're going to talk about here is the misdirection moves. There's only one misdirection move that you need to do, which is your behind the back version. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Jamal Murray behind the back pretty much, but I'm going to flick my left stick to the opposite side down. So my right stick is going to be flicking down right, I'm holding RT, but then my left stick is going to go down left at the exact same time, or after you do your right stick basically. So bing, and then I'm basically, while I see the animation play out, I'm going to go ahead and cancel like that. Now you can do it immediately like this, right? Hold on, You can do it immediately like that, or you can like actually like play it and then do it like that, right? So again, you can kind of do it immediately like that, or you can like play it out and then cancel it last second. Both of these kind of come with their own sort of risk and reward. Now, the reason why I don't use these is because, hold on, give me a sec. Always getting itchy. The reason why I don't use these all the time is because they're very easy to steal. If you know how right stick ripper works, then you basically, it doesn't matter if you do this or not. If they stole on the right side, it doesn't matter if you do it like a misdirection or not. The only way that this becomes good is if you do something like this, hold on, like this into something like that, right? That will be the only way that it becomes somewhat viable, right? You get what I'm saying? Because like this move here, like, or like using it for like that sort of thing, if you want to do something like that, like, then I guess, but like for the most part, there are better ways to do that. So I just don't think that it adds anything to your kit. Honestly, the more I've gotten better with dribbling, I just don't feel like these animations are that good. Like for example, let's say you do this and then you go into something like that, or I just don't see how they're that good, honestly. So I'm not a fan of it, honestly. But you can use it if you wanted to. It to me, I just don't think that it adds anything. It's not that great, and it's very easily to steal. Every time I've done it in a smart defender's face, I've gotten stolen from it. So I'm not a fan of it, and as you can see, that's the reason why muscle memory wise, I don't even like trigger these moves very often. Now there are some moves there that can be used, but again, if you start using these things a little bit too much, you're gonna be kind of in trouble, because these moves, I'm telling you, man, I'm a lock myself. These moves are very stealable. You're better off kind of sort of just playing off of these escape moves, honestly, because these escape moves are very good. Now the last thing I'll talk about and then the video will be over is you have escape sort of like animations or size ups, basically, which is whenever you go basically crossover left, crossover right, right? You can even do between the leg, crossover right. You can do basically this one into that same animation. So like basically you have your between the leg like finisher. So let's say if you do a between the legs cross, you can immediately go into your size up version, which is that animation there. That can be used as a crab, right? So that's the cross back. So it's like basically cross, right? So that could be good. You can do between the legs cross, right? Which is very good at like sort of crabbing, like so, right? And you can also delay whenever you do that. So like between the leg, cross, and then that's a slower cross, right? So I'm doing it, and again I delayed it, so I get a different kind of cross than if I just did this one, right? So you can again kind of control when those animations play out, right? Or you can do that one into this one. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of just play off of that as much as you want. But then you also have your cross between the leg, right? And that kind of crabs a little bit, right? And that's good. But other than that, that's pretty much that. Like, you don't really get anything else from that. So yeah, you have those kind of sort of size up moments, and every single different escape move is going to have a different one. But this one is very good at just like bringing it and then bouncing it back, because you can really kind of create a very good like quick shot from that, especially if someone's, again, like, that's very quick. So if someone's like basic, but that's better in my opinion. So I don't really use this that much unless you feel like someone's going to play like sort of how can I say that, if you feel like someone's going to try to like play the steal there, again, just read what your defenders are trying to do defensively against you. I messed that up there. So yeah, as you can see, once you get used to this stuff, man, everything just kind of flows a little bit more naturally, and then everything just becomes a bucket. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, man. It's Zooko, bro. We're at I-5000. Peace.